How's it going, YouTube? So today, or actually a couple days ago, I went to get the Trailblazer inspected and kind of a general, what does this need to pass? And, well, I got a laundry list of things it needed. To start, the spray nozzles for the windshield washer fluid did not work. They wanted to quote me for new ones. I'm 99% sure it just needs filled up. This light, the previous bumper had fog lights here. This one does not. Well, actually up here. And these can't be hanging out, so we'll zip tie those back in there, take the bulbs out, waterproof them, all that fun stuff. They noticed a hole in the exhaust in the muffler, and they wanted to give me an entire exhaust system because they said it's welded. There's actually a item that we can put on that for much cheaper than a whole exhaust to patch that hole. And a couple days after, when I was dealing with some of those big air compressors that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, I cracked my rear tail light when I was unloading them. So I grabbed a new tail light from a junkyard. But without further ado, we'll hop in here, start with the windshield washer fluid and these lights, and then we'll move back to the exhaust, because those are the main things that I would like to get fixed. Looking down here, my windshield wiper reservoir looks totally empty, so I'll fill that up. While here, it was also apparent that my coolant is a little low. Car's never ran hot, so I didn't think to check it. But luckily, I have some Dexacool, which is the orange coolant, which is what's already in here, so I'll fill that up also. With that done, we're done under the hood. Let's see if that fixed my windshield washers. Yep, they now spray great. And they wanted to quote me for new nozzles and I believe new hoses, but they probably would have found it, to be fair. That's fixed. Next up, we'll get it up on ramps. So my first step is I taped up the connector itself, then I put it in a bag, and then after it's in the bag, I proceeded to tape it all up, trying to keep water out of the connector. It should never be turned on, so I'm not concerned about that, but I don't want water to get in there and corrode it, because if in the future I get another green bumper to match the car, not that I expect to, but if I do, I'll have the option of putting the fog lights back in. So protect them real good, and then I'll find a location underneath to zip tie. And with a single zip tie on each side, the harness is now strapped up and out of the way. No light bulbs hanging down, nothing that they should be concerned about at this point. I understand the concern about having them hang there, because if I turned them on, the light would be throwing every which way, could be blinding to drivers. Next up is back here on this muffler. And honestly, I am not sure where the hole is, so let me find it and I'll let you know. I hope these show up okay on camera. But there's a pinhole right there, and there's a pinhole right there. I don't see anything else, but I will go ahead and clean off the bottom of this whole muffler, because I have to clean it before I apply the patch, and in doing so, I may find other stuff. But because I have two pinholes, it is likely that this is rusting, and more will develop over time. That being said, it's a welded exhaust, meaning there's no clamps on the exhaust, everything's welded connection. So they were saying that I would have to replace it all the way from the front somewhere. Honestly, not positive where they said that the break point would be. If this ends up rusting out more, I will cut it here and get a piece that fits over this to add a muffler, rather than having to replace the entire exhaust. So I got JP Weld Tiger Patch, and in the instructions on the back it says if you're doing this in a hot area, which the muffler is hot, put aluminum tape over the holes before you patch it. So I went ahead and did that with just some tiny pieces to cover, and now I'll take the patch and put it on, and I'm going to cover it with the aluminum tape also to hold it while it's curing. So I have several layers of it, which is what it recommends, and then I put the tape all over it to hold it. Now we have to go turn the car on and wait 20 minutes. I thought the shop had told me rear muffler, But honestly, this could have been me misremembering. I saw some water dripping on the ground under the center of the car, got up under, and I see a good break in the muffler here. So I'm willing to bet this is what they meant. And I'm going to take the fault and say I probably made assumptions that it was that one or misremembered. But I'm going to go ahead and run a piece of tape here and then put some of that tiger patch over it and see if we can't seal this one up. Because of where the crack was, I just went ahead and put the tiger patch right on it and then taped over it. So when we're running the 20 minutes, we'll pull this off. Looks like we might have a crack up there, but we'll see. I can't quite tell. Anyways, we'll try to patch this one first, see how this product works, and we can go from there. Okay, so at this point it's been 20 minutes. I cut the car off, and I'll pull this tape, which is probably going to be pretty darn hot. Oh, and it just took that off. So that did not hold. I was kind of suspecting that was the case. This product seems more like something you'd wrap around the exhaust where it can kind of bind to itself. With what I'm seeing here, I'm wondering about a different kind of JB Weld, like the high heat stuff putty that I could put over this. So I'm thinking that's the route we're going to go, but it's going to take me a little bit to get that in. So this video will probably jump forward a couple days, and I'll be putting putty here and probably up this side of this muffler also. But let's check out back here real quick and see, and yeah, that one came off too. So yep, we're just gonna go ahead and get the high temp JB Weld putty and put that up on there instead, because I think that's going to hold much better for our specific application. Attempt number 2 is going to be this JB Weld for the muffler. On here it says that it can handle up to 550 degrees, and looking online, exhausts are normally 400 to 500 degrees, so I figured it'll work. The downside is going to be it sets in 4 to 6 hours, so I'll probably have to do a couple thin coats on the bottom of this. But I'm going to take some time, work on that, and I will get back to everybody when I hopefully have a better looking product under there. So I have my lights right here. Not for the light they give, but for the heat they give. So when I put the JB Weld on here, it's supposed to be 70 to 80 degrees for the best cure, and it is definitely not that temperature outside. I put these here and put them indirect. So next thing I have to do is replace that tail light that was cracked, and it's just 2 bolts, it pops right out, but I am going to swap over this to the new one just because I know mine all work. I don't really know about this one, so for an extra couple bolts I should be able to get that done. Upon further consideration, the new ones are really rusty, so I'm going to put this in and then I'll test it and make sure all my lights work. New taillights in, looking really good. I went ahead and pulled the 3 bolts on the old taillight. Since the lights all still work, I'll keep this piece. Just have it around, maybe resell it or something down the road. But this is smashed and wet inside, so it's going to go in the trash. Now, for the exhaust leak that I had, or still have actually, I put some stuff on it and it's much better now. However, I was not able to let it sit for as long as I needed to because I had to take the vehicle out for something. So I'm going to go through, and outside of this video I will go ahead and repatch that whole situation. The only thing left is, since I had the shop check it, this caliper seems to be sticking. So I will have another video where I'm going to replace both front calipers and brake pads and rotors, because those brake pads are not very old. The brake pads have maybe 1,500 miles on them, and I'm hearing a grind like they're already dead. So I am going to, in the name of safety, I got replacement calipers, new rotors, new brake pads, and I'm going to do the front of this vehicle again, just to be on the safe side. But as far as this video, that's all I have. Thank you for coming along. Please leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe. I'm working on a couple new things coming up. Still have old Blue in the back there that I need to do some stuff with, but we will definitely be trying to do some more involved things, get on a bigger scale. Jarrett and I have been talking about buying a semi-truck. Jarrett has his CDL permit. I do not yet, because in my state I need to take an entry-level driver's course, and I need to see, the only one that it has listed is a 9-week course near my house. So I'm hoping to find something a little bit less intensive than a 9-week course, like a 2 or 3 week course. I'll take PTO from my day job and go do that, but for a 9-week course, that's a little excessive. So we'll see how all that plays out, but until next time.